Assalamu alaikum. Our today's topic is the gametogenesis, and I'm your associate professor, Dr. Faria Qureshi. In this, we'll discuss what is gametogenesis. We'll have the overview of the meiosis and how does it differs from the mitosis. Then the organization of the male reproductive tract. Then what is the process of the spermatogenesis and the spermiogenesis. What is a gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is a process of formation and development of specialized generative cells, that is, the gametes, which are the oocytes in the females and the sperms in the males, from their biopotential precursor cells. The process of the gametogenesis takes place in the gonads, the ovaries of the females, and the testes of the males. The process of gametogenesis in the males is called the spermatogenesis, and in the females it is called the oogenesis. It involves the four phases, that is the extragonadal origin of the primordial germ cells, then is the proliferation of the germ cells by the mitosis, then the reduction division, that is the meiosis, takes place. Then is the structural and the functional maturation of the gametes, that is the ova and the sperm. Now, to know the gametogenesis, you must be familiar with the reduction division, which is a special type of division meiosis. It involves the two cell divisions, meiosis 1 and the meiosis 2. Now, this reduction division or the meiosis takes place only in the germ cells, whereas the mitosis process takes place in all of the autosomes. And as a result of the mitosis, the two daughter cells are formed with the diploid number of the chromosomes. In the human beings, it is 46 number of the chromosomes. So the two daughter cells, they have the diploid number of the chromosomes. Whereas in the meiosis, it is a reduction division, and in this, it involves the two phases, the meiosis 1 and the meiosis 2. So in the meiosis one, there is the prophase one in which the homologous chromosomes in the form of the tetrads, they synapse together and there is a chiasma formation and the crossing over of the genetic material. Then is the metaphase in which there is a spindle formation and the line up of the homologous chromosomes in the form of tetrads to the equatorial plate. Then these chromatids, they will be pulled apart on the opposite poles and the two daughter cells are formed, each with the half number of the chromosomes, that is the haploid number of the chromosomes, that is the 23 chromosomes. So 22 autosomes and one sex chromosomes X or Y. Then as a result of the meiosis 2, the four daughter cells are formed and each with the equal amount of the cytoplasm and half number of the chromosomes, that is the 23 number of the chromosomes, the haploid number of the chromosomes, 2 with the 23X and 2 with the 23Y. So spermatogenesis, which takes place in the testes of the males, and the oogenesis in the females, which takes place in the ovaries of the females. So in the testes, the spermatogonia, they are formed, which are the germ cells of the males in the testes, and they have the diploid number of the chromosomes, that is the 46. Now these spermatogonia, they divide by mitosis into the primary spermatocytes. The primary spermatocytes, they undergo the first meiotic division, and by the first meiotic division, the daughter cells, they have the haploid number of the chromosomes. The reduction division takes place, so 23X or 23Y. Then these spermatocytes, they are called the secondary spermatocytes. The secondary spermatocytes, they will undergo the second meiotic division, and as a result of second meiotic division, the four spermatids, they are formed with 22 with the 23X and 2 with the 23Y. So Then they will be transformed into the mature sperms by the process of spermiogenesis. But in the females, the primary oocytes, they are formed with the 46 number of the chromosomes. They are transformed into the growing follicles. They remain as they are at the stages of the puberty. And after the puberty, they undergo the first meiotic division. And it is first meiotic division, there is a secondary oocyte is formed and a first polar body of formed. So a secondary oocyte has a large amount of the cytoplasm, whereas the first polar body has a small amount of cytoplasm. So unlike the spermatogenesis, a one ovum is formed and a one polar body is formed. So then this it will held in this first meiotic division until the process of the fertilization is completed. Then the second meiotic division is completed and a second polar body is formed and from the secondary oocyte. So it remains in the first meiotic division until the ovulation and the fertilization takes place. So in this, we'll discuss first the spermatogenesis in detail. So what is a spermatogenesis? The spermatogenesis is the process of formation of the male germ cells, that is the spermatogonia, and it occurs in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. So this is a section of a testes showing you different lobules, and each lobules has these thread-like structures which are called the seminiferous tubules. They are the convoluted tubules, and in these seminiferous tubules, the process of spermatogenesis, it takes place. And this is the epididymis, which is the storehouse of the sperms. To know the process of the spermatogenesis, you must be familiar with the male reproductive system or the male reproductive tract. So we'll just have a brief introduction with the male reproductive tract. So these testes, they are the male reproductive organs or the glands, and they lie in a scrotum. And these testes, they will produce the sperms and the androgens, and also the male sex hormone, which is the testosterone, which is produced by the interstitial cells of the leydig, which lie in between the seminiferous tubules. So they will secrete the testosterone. So this is a cut section of a seminiferous tubule. So seminiferous tubules, they are the structural and the functional unit of the testes, and in this you can see all the developmental phases of the spermatogonia or the spermatozoa. So they are the basal surface where the spermatogonia, they will transform into the primary, secondary spermatocytes, and towards the lumen is the spermatids, and the tails will always lie towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubules. So this is the germinal epithelium showing you the all the germinative layers of the sperms, spermatozoa. And along with there are also the tall columnar-like cells, which are called the Sertoli cells. They are the supporting cells for the spermatozoa. Then overhanging the testes is a structure, the C-shaped structure. This is called the epididymis, and this epididymis is the storehouse of the sperms. And from the testes, these spermatids, they will be transferred to the epididymis, and there they will be stored, and their maturation will be completed. So after from the epididymis, these sperms, they will be spermatozoa, they will be transferred from the duct-like structure, which is called the vas deferens, and it will transport these sperms from the epididymis towards the prostate gland. Then these are the seminal vesicles. They are the leaf-like structures. These seminal vesicles, they will secrete the fluid which is rich in the fructose to the semen, and this fructose, it will be responsible for the nourishment of the sperms. The prostate gland will secrete its alkaline milky fluid from the ejaculatory ducts into the semen, and it will help in the sperm activation. These are the Copper's glands or the bulbourethral glands. They will add up the mucus to the semen. Now, all the semen with all these fluids from the prostate gland, from the seminal gland, from the bulbourethral gland will be in the this penile urethra. Uh, and this is the penile part of the urethra, and the penis, which is the organ of the copulation. Now, sirs, the spermatogenesis, the process of the development of the spermatogonia, the male primordial germ cells, they are transformed into the mature sperms, and this process begins at the puberty under the stimulation of the anterior pituitary hormones. So these primordial germ cells, they will develop into the spermatogonia. Now, this is a cut section of the seminiferous tubule. Now you can see these are the tall columnar cells, the Sertoli cells, which are held together by the tight junctions. And this is the basal compartment of the seminiferous tubule, and this is the luminal compartment or the luminal side of the seminiferous tubules. Now you can see here that the developmental stages of the spermatogonia, they will be present in the basal compartment. There are two types of the spermatogonia. The type A, they will divide by mitosis to produce a continuous reserve of the type B cells. And these type B cells, they will enter into the spermatogenesis. So the type A cells, they will divide by mitosis and they will remain in this basal compartment, the spermatogonia, and they will be a continuous stem cells for the spermatogenesis. Then these type B cells, they will enter from the basal compartment to the adluminal compartment, and they will form the primary spermatocytes with the diploid number of the chromosomes, that is the 46th number of the chromosomes. Now these primary spermatocytes, they will divide by the reduction division, meiosis, and form the secondary spermatocytes with the haploid number of the chromosomes, that is the 23. And these secondary spermatocytes will form the spermatids, the four spermatids, each with the haploid number of the chromosomes, that is the 23. Then these spermatids, they will be held together by the Sertoli cells, and they will provide the further maturation and the nourishment to these developing spermatids, and their tails will be facing towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubules. So again, you can see here that the spermatogonia, so this process always takes place after the puberty, and they remain the spermatogonia in the walls of the seminiferous tubules until the puberty, and under the influence of the male hormone, that is the testosterone, and the anterior pituitary hormones, they will follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone, they starts developing, and they undergo the primary spermatocytes from the primary spermatocyte from the first meiotic division, and then they will form the secondary spermatocytes by the second meiotic secondary spermatocytes, and these secondary spermatocytes, they will have the half number of the chromosomes, that is the 22 pairs of the autosomes and one pair of the sex chromosomes XY. Then they divide into the spermatocytes, the four spermatids. Each will have the equal amount of the cytoplasm and the 22 plus X or 22 plus Y number of the chromosomes. And then they will transform into the mature sperms. Now, this is a very beautiful diagram showing you all the summarization of all the events of the spermatogenesis. So, as we have started with this testes, this showing you the lobules of the testes in which the coiled up of the seminiferous tubules, they are present. And this is the epididymis, the storehouse of the sperms. And this is the vas deferens which will transport these sperms towards the prostate gland. So if we cut the section of this one of the thread-like structure, the seminiferous tubule, this seminiferous tubule will look like this. And this is the wall of the seminiferous tubule showing you all the germinative phases of the spermatogonia. Now you can see here the development stages of the spermatogonia. And this is a Sertoli cell, which is a tall columnar cell and a supporting cell. And all the heads of these sperms, they are attached to it until they are matured and they are then released. So you can see here, this is a germinal cell or a germ cell, it's a spermatogonia, and it will have a diploid number of the chromosomes. It will divide by mitosis into the primary spermatocytes, still the 46 number of the chromosomes. Then these primary spermatocytes will undergo the reduction division, the meiosis 1, in which the two daughter cells are formed with the haploid number of the chromosomes, that is the 23. Then these meiosis 1, after the reduction division, there will be no replication of the DNA. And then there is a simple mitosis-like structure, which is the meiosis-like division. Mitosis-like division in the meiosis 2, the two daughter cells are formed from each of these secondary spermatocytes. And these, as a result of the meiosis 2, we will have the four spermatids, each with the half number of the chromosomes, that is the 23, and equal amount of the cytoplasm. So 2 will be 23X and 2 will be 23Y. And then they will later on transform into the mature sperm. Now, this is a animated video of the spermatogenesis.
Sperm
Then you
develop in
should
the seminiferous
enjoy
tubules
this,
of the testes.
seeing this animated video.
Primordial sperm cells, called spermatogonia, lie dormant in the outer compartment of the tubules from the late fetal period until puberty. At puberty, the spermatogonia undergo mitotic divisions, giving rise to genetically identical cells. The cells grow gradually into primary spermatocytes, preparing to divide into cells half their size. Each of these primary spermatocytes undergoes a first meiotic division, forming two smaller haploid cells known as secondary spermatocytes. These secondary spermatocytes divide once more, giving rise to four haploid cells called spermatids, containing exactly half of the father's genetic material. Through a process known as spermiogenesis, the spermatids change shape, transforming into mature sperm cells. The spermatid's nucleus condenses, the acrosome appears, and the tail begins to grow. Much of the cytoplasm is shed. As spermiogenesis completes, the sperm cells break free from the Sertoli cell lining of the tubules into the lumina. The sperm cells are then stored in the epididymis, where they functionally mature.
Then is the formation of the mature sperm by the process of spermiogenesis. So spermiogenesis is the transformation or morphological transformation of the spermatids into the mature sperms. So this involves the different phases like the Golgi phase, the cap phase, and the acrosomal phase. Now we will discuss these phases one by one. So spermiogenesis, the morphological transformation of the spermatids into the mature sperm. So first is the Golgi phase. Now you can see here the newly formed spermatid is rounded in structure. This is a spermatid nucleus with all the cytoplasm and cellular organelles, the Golgi apparatus, and the lot of the mitochondria. So first, these Golgi apparatus has the small vesicles. These small vesicles will coalesce to form a large granule, and this is called the proacrosomic granule. Now you can identify these are the centrioles. You already know the mother centriole and the daughter centrioles. These centrioles, they will start moving towards the one side of the spermatid nucleus. So this acrosomic granules, the proacrosomic granules, they will form a large acrosomic vesicle and with have the center acrosomic, large acrosomic granule, which will have the acrosomic enzymes in it embedded in this acrosomic granule. And these centrioles, they will divide into the proximal centriole and this distal centriole. The proximal centriole will provide the attachment for the tail, and the distal centriole will form the exoneme for the flagella or the tail. Now this is the cap face. As the name suggests, this acrosomic granule, it will become enlarged and it will form the cap-like structure over the anterior part of the spermatid nucleus. Now this Golgi apparatus will start moving towards the centrioles, and this proximal centriole is forming the attachment for the tail, and the distal centriole, the exoneme of the flagella, which is away from the nucleus, that is towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So this exoneme tail is forming towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubule away from the nucleus, and the proximal centriole is forming the attachment with the head or the nucleus of the sperm. Now you can see here the acrosomal cap is forming. It is elongated and covering the anterior part of the nucleus, and with the central acrosomic granule, and which has outer acrosomal membrane and inner acrosomal membrane. Now you can see in the acrosomal phase, the nucleus of the sperm is elongating, and over this elongated nucleus, the acrosomal cap is covering all of its anterior part of this acrosomic spermatic nucleus. Now this is the manchet is forming, will form the neck of the sperm, and this exoneme, the distal centriole is forming the exoneme or the flagellum. The mitochondria, they will start moving towards the tail piece. Now this is the maturation phase. You can see here the nucleus of the sperm is elongated, and over its anterior all of the part, the acrosome has covered it all over its anterior part, and it is forming the head. So it is called the pronuclear cap, and this neck is formed by the manchet, and then is the middle piece, and over this middle piece and the whole of the mitochondria, they have assembled towards this middle piece, and these mitochondria, they will provide the energy for the migration and the movement of the sperm, and this is the principal piece or the tail of the uh, sperm. Now you can see all these developing phases of the spermiogenesis, and a mature sperm is formed, and this mature sperm has these parts: the head, which has the nucleus, male sperm nucleus, and it has the DNA of the male, and this head is covered by the acrosomal cap. Then this is the neck, which is formed by the manchet, and this is the middle piece of the tail, which has all of the mitochondrial sheath around it, and then is the principal piece of the tail, and this is the end piece of the tail, and this is a mature ovum with all its parts, which we'll discuss later on. So the actual size of the sperm is this. So this is all about by the spermatogenesis. The spermatogenesis is completed by the spermiogenesis, the transformation of the spermatids into the mature sperm. So this is all about. You can ask me if you have any queries on your WhatsApp group. So thank you so much.